Hello YouTube, it's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we are talking 90 Day Fiancé the UK, episodes 2 through 5. So like what I'm going to do in this recap is just, I'm not going to like dig deep into the 4 episodes that I did not do. Just going to go through couple by couple as normal instead of just episode by episode for what we've seen in the last 4 episodes. The first couple I want to talk is Adnan and Shrona. So what their storyline is that Shrona, remember, became a Mormon. And, Adnan is still trying to adjust to it. So, she's in Albania with Adnan, and he is struggling with this whole chastity thing. He is actually not having a hard time actually accepting and respecting it, basically, because he feels like they do have a good connection and everything, and they have been intimate before. But Shrona has really devoted her life now to God and to the Mormon faith now, so she really wants to keep her chastity. So we seen they had an argument on the beach. We seen them argue on the beach about it. Adnan actually had walked off and was really ghosting her for a few days and everything. Shrona actually posted on her Instagram and social media some PG sexy photos of herself and said why don't you come get me or something, and had a song like come get me or something like that. And he's seen it. And they meet up again to try to reconcile their differences and everything. And Shrona almost caved in. She was almost gonna be intimate with him one final time before she really stops, but she didn't. We seen Shrona and Adnan go on a bike ride. We seen her fall off the bike. He helped her pick her up and keep going and stuff. That was really sweet. But he just she just got him all eagered up, and then she's still, I can't do it. She wants to keep her chastity. And if he really loves her, I know that's difficult since you already been intimate before, now it's stopped. But if you really love somebody, you're gonna have to respect the fact that she has chosen the Mormon faith, and have to respect the fact that she's just is devoted to God and everything. And the sooner y'all get married, the sooner y'all can do it all again. So right now he's still contemplating whether he wants to be with her. 1 minute he's broken up with her, ghosting her. The next minute they're talking and hanging out. And the last we saw them, they're broken. He doesn't want nothing to do with her right now. I think he's being very selfish, and he needs to, for someone who is a man of God, myself, I like I said, I understand it's not easy, but you have to be respectful with your woman's wishes. And if you don't, it just proves that you're only in a relationship for lust and not love. Just saying. So that was Adnan and Shrona. Next couple I want to talk is Finn and Sandra. Now, Finn, they're both 33 years old and everything. He is flying to Brazil to meet his girlfriend Sandra and everything. They seem like they have a really good relationship, but the thing is that Finn is really, really struggling with the fact that Sandra has kids. He does not want to be a stepdaddy. We seen them meet up and everything. He gives the kids some toys and some gifts and stuff and everything. And when he arrived to Brazil, hanging out with the kids for a little bit, he was about to put them to bed and everything. And then he wanted to spend alone time with Sandra and everything. Then the next minute the kids start waking up and just coming up and jumping no bed, no bed, no bed, no bedtime and everything. And he's frustrated and everything. Now, I'm going to say something about this. I had a friend post on their social media and who's a single mother, and said that, you should be with a guy who if you're dating somebody that has kids, you should wonder more if the kids are having something to eat than if they're sleeping and stuff. You really got to think about the children when you're dating somebody with children. Um, so this Finn guy is just having a really hard time accepting the fact that Sandra has kids. Later, we see they go to a party where it was a barbecue basically, and the whole family was there, and the whole family, they were just lit. They were just having a good time celebrating, like so and everything. It was just like, hey man, welcome to the family. But in Brazil, they all speak Portuguese and stuff, and Finn does not know any Portuguese. He knows a little bit, but not much. And he is just a fish out of water. He did not know how to communicate. He really it looked like he really even used his app and everything. He did not understand a single word of what they were saying. And Sandra was frustrated about that because he wasn't taking the time to get to know the family and stuff. But Sandra's sister, who does speak English, came up to him to talk to him and talk to him and said, like, you're not making a good impression on this family. Like, we're not going to accept you because, one, you need to learn a little bit of Portuguese, and you need to accept the fact that she has kids. When you're dating somebody that has kids, their kids are a package deal. Now, some people like to put their animals as a package deal. I don't agree with that. But when it comes to kids, human kids, I agree that they come with a package deal. You know what you signed up for when you first got with this person. Their kids come first. And if you don't want to be a stepdaddy, then you should have just told her that in the beginning instead of just leading her on. Sandra and Finn look like they can have the potential, but he needs to get past the fact that she has kids, and he needs to if the daddy is not in their life, and poor Sandra, who's been in lived in some lived in harsh environments growing up, and with her parents and stuff, she didn't have this easy, and she learned Spanish. I mean, not Spanish. She learned English. So, and I understand learning English is different than from English speaking countries learning other languages. It's not that easy, but she did it. So he needs to learn a little bit of something and just quit complaining about it, because all he's doing is just complaining. We seen him at the cookout just asking the sister, hey, what's the Wi-Fi password and everything. And the family looked like they were nice. I would have loved that barbecue. I would have loved to have been part of that barbecue because it looked like good food. I would have had my app out and be like, hey, this is amazing. Y'all look like y'all have fun. I'm happy to be here, even though I don't understand y'all. I'm happy to be here and everything. I would have pulled somebody aside with my app, with my translator app, to get to know somebody. And he did not do that. He just sat in the corner majority of the time, other than him talking to the sister. So he needs to really step up. So yeah, that was Sandra and Finn. The next couple I want to talk is Zena and Abraham. So remember the last time I did my 90-day UK recap, I said that I've been keeping an eye on this couple. This Abraham guy, remember, he is from the Gambia. Before Zena went to the Gambia to reunite with him, he had asked her for some money for this business, and she was contemplating about giving it to him. Now, we seen that Abraham had told her that he didn't have any social media, basically. But the day before she went, Zena's granddaughter did some research and found social media of Abraham. And Zena's just like, what the heck? He was lying to me about that. I don't even know if I want to go and everything. But the granddaughter took her to the airport, and she went anyway. And she got there, and he took her to her hotel and everything. She wanted the first night just to relax and just see him before she confronts him about the social media and everything. They go to this hotel just right off of the highway in the Gambia, look very busy basically. And They freshened up and just had their night together. And then, like the next day, she confronts him about the social media. The moment she confronts Abraham about the social media, he just starts laughing and just says it was a joke and everything. And I'm like, dude, why are you laughing about it? Like what's really funny about it? And like he just kept on saying it was a joke and everything, and that he didn't lie, and it was only temporary. But he didn't tell Xena that, and she just feels like he was like being lied to and everything. So like they argued about that, and then they moved on. Now we're gonna go like, I guess he's building some kind of like property now, that he also needs money from Xena. He took Xena to the property that's still being built and everything, and it looks like it has potential, but it still needed a lot of work. And then we seen Abraham and Xena go meet with Abraham's family and stuff and everything. And I guess like his nieces and nephews call him dad and call him Papa or something. And Xena kind of reacted to that too. She was like, why are your nephews and stuff calling you Papa? And then she kind of asked a disturbing question: is your sister your wife or something like that? And I'm like, ew. Like, why would she ask that? Why would she ask that? Like, they're like, I think like in the African culture, probably it's like, family is close. Like, like close family are gonna call each other like dad, like the father figures, basically. Family is just really close like that. It ain't that close. Xena, it's not that close. They're not gonna be calling them Papa, and you thinking, oh, is your sister really your wife? Like that's disgusting. That's really disgusting. I was just really kind of disturbed by that. So there's still more to come with that, but I mean that's just like where they're at right now for what we see. So yeah, that was Xena and Abraham. The next couple I want to talk is Ara and Andy. So we got to meet Andy. Remember when I did the intro with him? He does have a bone disease, and he has like he could break bones really easily. He has over 200 fractures to his name. Um, he does know about like he's going to the Philippines to reunite to be with Ara. Ara is aware of his condition, and he's also really short. He's like 3 or 4 feet, like, and but Ara does not care. Ara gets to the meets him at the airport and everything, picks him up. Her living conditions are not as bad as we've seen in the Philippines with others like Sheila and Rose in the beginning, but it's still the Philippines and stuff. But Ara seems like really accepting of him. Now we seen Ara talk to her family about about Andy, and Ara's family feels like that she might be a maid to him, basically, like basically taking care of him and everything. Andy can do majority of a lot of things. He can walk. He still needs a wheelchair, but he can do a lot of things. He doesn't need a caregiver, basically, and R's family was worried about that. So, he arrives to the Philippines. Prior to going to the Philippines, he meets up with a friend to talk about the trip, and the friend just voiced her concerns and stuff. Is she real? Is she not a catfish and everything? And he's like, she's real and everything. And like, yeah, Ara was really beautiful. Now the thing is that like we seen Andy talk to Ara's dad and stuff, and he already wants the blessing right away to like marry Ara. And the family's just like, it is way too soon for that, buddy. You had just got here and you already want the blessing. Can we get to know you first? Let's see how are you? Like, let's see like how are you doing with your disability, basically. Like he's really rushing it, and I think that's going to scare all of them away, but we shall see. So yeah, that was R and Andy. And the last couple I want to talk is probably my favorite couple is Shannon and Meti. So Shannon and Meti, when I last did the recap, like Shannon went to the airport. She had no service, very little service. She couldn't get a hold of Meti and everything. And when she arrived to the airport, she was like freaking out. But Meti did show up. He said there was just an issue with his phone or whatever. So she said she'll let that pass since he did show up. The problem with Shannon and Meti is that like he gets jealous really easily and stuff, but I love the fact that they call each other darling. It's okay, darling. It's okay, darling. He talks like that. So when Shannon arrived to Turkey, that was like her biggest worry and stuff and everything. Now, Shannon has a best friend named Jay. And Meti knows about Jay and everything. They got into a little argument about him and everything. And Jay even called Shannon while she was in Turkey and stuff. And while they were arguing about that, and he called, Shannon decided not to answer the phone. And now Meti was upset that she didn't answer the phone. Shannon feels like if she would have answered the phone, it would have caused an argument, but it caused an argument by her not answering the phone. So they argued a lot of back and forth about that. And then later she decided to call him. She apologized for not answering the phone, and then she actually decided to call Jay. She calls Jay, and then Jay is doing the typical response, like like, I'm just not sure, is he just wanting the UK green card or UK visa or whatever and everything. Meti says that he's not in it for the visa, that he really loves Shannon, blah 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 blah, basically. So after all of that, now Shannon and Meti can finally just enjoy their time. We see them go to the market and taste some interesting turkey delicacies and stuff that just did not look appetizing stuff. Shannon just said it was just disgusting, and it did. It looked disgusting. And now they're about to go on a trip, and they're about to pull a Statler and Dempsey. They're about to go on a van life trip. They got a van, and they're going to start traveling during this little vacation. And they get the van, and it's small, but and making it do for right now. They couldn't, like, there were still some issues wrong with it, basically, and they were told not to really try not to go number two in the van and stuff, because you would have to really basically manually clean it all up, and then pour it down, like take it outside and pour it somewhere and stuff. And Meti did, and they had to pull over somewhere and take all of it and pour it down the sewage drain at a random spot, which was really disgusting and everything. While they're on their trip, though, while they're in the car and he's driving, I guess he's driving a little fast and trying to back forth and in, and him and Shannon just start arguing because Medi needed Shannon to guide him backwards and stuff, like in the parking and stuff. And I guess she was screaming like, stop, 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 and he just kept on going. And so Shannon just now, she's pulling a Tiger Lily, and it's just like, oh, you're not listening to me. So she just starts crying and everything, and they get into another argument about them not listening and stuff and everything. But the difference between Meti and Adnan is that they'll argue and then they'll make up quick, and he'll recognize what he is saying and what he is doing and everything, and then they be good. They do go from 0 to 100 really quick. I noticed with them. So after that, they pulled over somewhere. They went to this one spot that looked like it had a hot tub. This area that had a hot tub. It wasn't a resort. I don't know where it was. It looked like somewhere they weren't really supposed to be at, but they jumped into this random hot tub and stuff and everything, and played around and stuff, and then quickly grabbed their clothes and ran back to the van. I mean, talk about spontaneous, but I wouldn't be going into like private property and jumping into some random hot tub. But whatever floats their boat. And then we seen them like start a fire and just chilling by the fire and then just having a good time. So yeah, like I said, with Shannon and Matty, like they really go from 0 to 100 like really quick. They 1 minute they're fighting, and the next minute they're lovey dovey and everything. Like, which is it? But like I said, Shannon's a really beautiful girl, and they are my favorite couple on this season. Um, but like I said, I'm really pulling for Finn and Sandra. They have the potential, but he needs to accept the kids. Shruna and Adnan, like Adnan just needs to accept the fact that she's a Mormon. If you want to be intimate with her so bad, marry her quick. Zena and Abraham, and Andy and Ara. Andy needs to just like chill out for a little bit. Just chill. Just enjoy your time. Like, we don't want to. I don't want it to be like another Brian situation, but just chill. We still have met to see Sam and Ali from who were on 90 Day UK last year, and we still got to meet Sarah and Marco. So we still have two more couples to meet. But I am liking this season of 90 Day UK. Like I said, I don't normally cover this show because, like I said, the editing and the back and forth. That's why I've been procrastinating it in the last couple of weeks, like doing these recaps and stuff. That's why I just wanted to do the recap like this instead of episode by episode and stuff. But maybe next week I'll do it by episode again since I'm caught up. But yeah, that was it for 90 Day UK. Yeah, so that's the end of my review, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I still need 3 more subscribers to hit that 100 piece. Come on, guys. We could get there. We could get to 100 subscribers, guys. I'll be back on tomorrow and Monday to recap 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. So until then, y'all stay safe and have a good one. Bye, y'all.